కానీ ఇంకా అట్లాగే అందరూ వీఆర్ వెయిటింగ్ అనమాట. అది
ఇక్కడ సారీ సార్ సైకాలజీ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఇన్ఫార్మ్డ్ దట్ సమ్ టీచర్స్ ఆర్ జాయినింగ్ క్లాసెస్ లేట్, ప్లీజ్ స్టార్ట్ ద క్లాస్ యాజ్ పర్ షెడ్యూల్ వితౌట్ ఎనీ డిలే అని పెట్టాడు.
సార్ మధుకర్ సార్ మీకు ఒక విషయం చెప్పాలి. యూనివర్సిటీ షెడ్యూల్ లో ఆర్గనైజేషన్ బిహేవియర్ క్లాసు ఈవినింగ్ 4:30 to 5:30 అని ఉంది సార్. తెలుసా అది మీకు? అది మీకు కావాలంటే నేను మీకు వాట్సాప్ లో మెసేజ్ పంపిస్తాను. మీ క్లాస్ 4:30 to 5:30 అని చెప్పారు. చాలా మంది నేను 4:30 కూడా జాయిన్ అయిన వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు తెలియక. ఎట్లాగంటారు సార్ మిమ్మల్ని మీరు లేట్ గా జాయిన్ అవుతారని? ఈ క్లాస్ షెడ్యూల్ చేసింది 4:30 to 5:30. కావాలంటే మీకు వాట్సాప్ లో పంపిస్తాను మీకు మెసేజ్. యూనివర్సిటీ షెడ్యూల్ లో ఉంది. మీకు కూడా చెప్తున్నారు, యూనివర్సిటీ షెడ్యూల్ చెప్తున్నారు, మాకు కూడా చెప్తున్నారు సార్. అదే సార్ ప్రాబ్లం ఇక్కడ, అందువల్ల అవుతుంది. సో మీ క్లాస్ మాత్రం 2 to 3 అని అందరూ డిసైడ్ అయ్యారు సార్. ప్లీజ్ మీరు కొంచెం అంటే ఒక 10 నిమిషాలు అయితే మీరు అందరూ జాయిన్ అవుతారు. అది ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు ఎవరు లేరు. నేను కూడా జస్ట్ అట్లా ఆన్ చేసి పెట్టాను ఊరికే. ఎవరు లేరు, నేను మేడం ఉన్నాం అంతే, ఇద్దరు ఉన్నారు. మీరు జస్ట్ ఒక 10 minutes యూజ్ చేస్తే అందరూ 2ంటికి అందరూ జాయిన్ అవుతారు. 2 to 3 చెప్తున్నాం సార్, యూ డోంట్ మైండ్. కావాలంటే చెప్పండి స్టూడెంట్స్ ఇక్కడ 2 to 3 అని చెప్పండి, పర్లేదు. కావాలంటే నా పేరు కూడా చెప్పండి, ఏం పర్లేదు, నేను చెప్తాను సార్కి. సార్కి నేను ఈవినింగ్ మెసేజ్ పెట్టబోతాను, డిఫరెంట్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అవైలబుల్ ఇన్ ద సిస్టమ్ అని. ఏం లేదు సార్, మీరు చెప్పింది నలుగురు ఉంటేనే మీకు తృప్తి ఉంటుంది సార్. ఏదో వేస్ట్ కదా సార్, ఏదో ఒకరికి చెప్పుకుంటే వేస్ట్ కదా.
We'll start the class now.
ఒక 10 నిమిషాలు ఆగండి సార్.
ఓకే,
గ్రూప్ లో మెసేజ్ పెట్టాను జాయిన్ అవ్వమని. చూస్తాను సార్. ఏం లేదు సార్, అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఒకళ్ళకి చెప్పుకుంటే వేస్ట్ కదా సార్, 10 మంది కన్నా ఉంటే కొంచెం బాగుంటుంది.
కరెక్ట్ అండి. ఇక్కడ నాకు వచ్చిన మెసేజ్ నేను చెప్పాను కదా, నాకు వచ్చే మెసేజ్ అంటే టైం షార్ట్ గా ఉంది అని చెప్పారు. అది
సార్ ఓన్లీ కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్ సార్. ఇక్కడ మీకు మాట చెప్తాను, మాకు మాట చెప్తున్నారు. పెట్టాను సార్, గ్రూప్ లో మెసేజ్ పెట్టాను సార్ జాయిన్ అవ్వమని. కొంచెం తొందరగా జాయిన్ అయితే బెస్ట్.
అదే నిన్న కూడా నేను 150 జాయిన్ అయ్యాను కదా.
అదే
రోజు నేను అదే బై లాస్ట్ సాటర్డే నుంచి అంతే 5th.
అదే బెస్ట్ సార్, అదే బెస్ట్. ఒక 10 నిమిషాలు ఆగండి సార్, ఇప్పుడు మెసేజ్ పెడుతున్నాను అందరికి.
ఓకే ఫైన్. గ్రూప్ లో పెట్టండి, గూగుల్ నన్ను యాడ్ చేయండి. గూగుల్ అయితే తెలిసిపోతుంది నాకు ఎవరు వచ్చింది ఎవరు రాలేదని.
ఇందులోనే మీకు కనపడుతుంది సార్, ఇందులోనే జాయిన్ అవుతారు.
ఓకే,
ఇప్పుడు ఉన్నది ముగ్గురే సార్, మీరు కాకుండా
హోస్ట్ అందులో. సార్ హోస్ట్, మీరు నేనే మేడం, నలుగురే ఉంది.
ఇప్పుడు రావు సార్, ఇప్పుడు ఏం చెప్తున్నాడు సార్? 11th యూనిటా?
tenth unit. We'll complete 10th unit today, then we'll move on to 11th unit. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir.
Still 4 members, no? 1, 2, 3, 4 members. We'll start the class.
Yes, sir. Please start.
Okay. So yesterday we discussed about group properties. In that roles, norms, status, size, and coherence. In this group properties, discussed about role identity, role perception, role expectations, and role conflicts. Then next one is in group properties, norms and status. These norms depend on the group members. It all depends on the
Sir,
group.
which unit, sir? Which unit, sir?
Unit number 10.
Okay, sir.
So norms tell members what they ought to and ought not to do, what they ought to do, what they ought not to do. They frame the norms of the group. It all depends on the group, which group. So these norms can be socially acceptable behavior, socially acceptable standards of behavior. Then it all depends on the group. Then group norms act as a means of influencing the behavior of group members. So these norms will act as it will influence the behavior of the group members. So it controls, it acts as external control. So different norms for the different groups. Okay. Based on the groups, there are 3 categories of group norms, that is performance norms, appearance norms, then social arrangement norms. So first one, performance norms will be their work chart. So this is about performance, what they have to perform in the particular organization, that is performance norms. Then appearance norms. So it will be depending on the organization. Some organizations will have their own dress codes. Then some unspoken rules. For example, in medical field, they use aprons, white aprons. Likewise, there are n number of dress codes for the different organizations. So this is about appearance norms. The next one is social arrangement norms. So we live in a social unit. We belongs to social. Anybody is the member of the particular social group. So this arrangement norms. So in this arrangement norms, having snacks, tea, and lunch, sharing with friends in the same group, the same organization. That is about sharing the lunch box and making friendship in the organization level. The next one is resource allocation norms. This is about assignment of different jobs, distribution of work, and distribution of resources like salary hike, then different equipments, so on and so forth. This is about norms. Then we have another thing, that is conformity. Conformity means actually as a member, you are member of some group. So in that group, you need to accept the group behavior, group norms, as well as group need to accept you as an individual. So that is acceptance. So you have to accept the group, and you have to accept the group norms also. That is about conformity. Then in this conformity, that important thing is some groups will have reference groups. These reference groups will give references. So belongs to our group. Then he will do certain work, certain extent with his commitment, like that. There is some reference about yourself as an individual. Your group will own you as a member of the particular group. That is reference groups. Then we'll go on to status. What is status? Will always status means social status, economic status, then health status. There are many status. Status is defined as position or rank given to the groups or group members by others. Okay, this is about based on your background, whether you are OC, BC, SC, ST, that is your status group. Then you are rich, middle class, poor, that is based on your economical status. So then sometimes a large group, smallest group. Okay, in the smallest groups, they will develop roles, rights, and rituals to differentiate its members. So status is an important factor in understanding human behavior because it is significant motivator and has major behavioral consequences when individuals pursue a disparity between what they believe their status to be and what others pursue. So you are thinking about yourself some status, but that is not important. What other people thinks about your status, whether it is social status, economic status, family status, so on and so forth, that is most important. This status have different sources. Based on different sources, you will have status in a society. Mainly, this status divided into there are three sources. That is the power a person wields over others. Second one is a person's ability to contribute to a group's goal. Then third one is an individual's personal characteristics. So first one, the power of a person wields over the others. So here, this type of source, this is about groups resources who control the outcomes of a group through their power tend to be pursued as high status. So in a group, there is somebody will act as a group leader. So he will have high status when compared to other members in the same group. So he will influence the group members as well as organization by using his power as a status. Second one is person's ability to contribute to group's goals. Then people who contributions are critical to the group success tend to have high status. So somebody in the group, he will contribute. He will have more commitment when compared to others. Then he will contribute towards the goals of the organization as well as group's goals. Then it is called as a it is called as a second one, that is person's ability. For example, in different organizations, they maintain different status. For example, we have different organizations like Tata Group, then Mahindra Groups. In that, some person, a group leader, team leader of the particular thing, they will influence they will use their status to do, they will contribute for the development of the organization. Then next one is individual's personal characteristics. Sometimes personal characteristics are positively valued by the group. For example, your intelligence, then your good-looking manner, then your mannerisms, then your friendly natures, your friendly personality. It also influences the status of your group. So these are the different sources of status. Then status and norms. This status and norms affect each other by using power of norms and pressures to conform. For example, high status members of the group are often given more freedom to deviate from norms than other group members. So somebody in some group is maintaining high status, he always take a freedom. He will deviate group norms sometimes because he is having high status among the same group. So high status people are also better able to resist conformity. Then when it comes to low status group, individuals who is highly valued by a group but who doesn't much need care of about the social rewards the group provides. So minimal attention to the conformity of norms. Okay, high status people always use their power. They will sometimes deviate group norms from the group norms. Then sometimes status and group interactions. In this, low status members possess expertise and insights, but they will not recognized by the group members, because in a group somebody will using their high status. So usually they will influence others. Sometimes they deviate the group norms, but group members will accept his behavior, whereas low status members may not liked by the other members. Sometimes these low status people will have expertise in the particular field, but they may not recognize their services may not be utilized properly by the group. This is about status and group interaction. Then status inequity. Inequity means not equal, differentiation, discrimination. So important for group members to believe that status is hierarchy is equitable. So inequity creates disequilibrium. Inequity means discrimination. Discrimination about status, social status, economic status, and other status. So that is inequality. So you are showing, you are giving importance to somebody in the same group. You are not recognizing, rather utilizing other low status persons in the same group. So that is inequality. So sometimes in an organization, people expect rewards increments sometimes. Then the most important findings related to the size of the group. Sometimes when you compare social groups, there are large groups and small groups we find in organization. So comparatively, small group will do better work when compared to large groups. So when it comes to the group size, this is called as a social loafing. Social loafing means tendency for individuals to expend less effort when working collectively than when working individually. So individually you can contribute, you can work 8 hours, whereas when you sit in a group, when you are working for the group, you may not do the work up to 8 hours, or because you can share the same work with others. No, so individually you work better when compared to group, when you are working in a group. That is social loafing. So it challenges productivity of the group, because individually you are doing wonders, but when it comes to group, sometimes you may not work hard for the organization to meet the challenges of organization, to meet the targets of the organization. or project goals. Then next one is group property 5, that is cohesiveness. Cohesiveness is so the degree to which members are attracted to each other and are motivated to stay in the group, that is group cohesiveness. Tendency, the degree to which members are attracted to each other and are motivated to stay in the group. For example, some work groups are cohesive because the members have spent a great deal of the time together, or small groups, small size, facilitate high interaction. So when, for example, in our teaching learning class also, one teacher, 1:20. If one teacher, there are 10 students. One teacher, 20 students. One teacher, 30 students. One teacher, 40 students. Who will concentrate on teaching learning process? Tell me. 1:10 or 1:20, 1:30 or 1:40? Yes. Anybody? Who will concentrate more? One teacher 10 students, one teacher 20 students, or one teacher 30 students, one teacher 40 students.
One teacher 10 best, sir.
1:10, because that is small group. Teacher can concentrate each and every student. So 1:10. Likewise, in a group work also, small groups tend to do better performance when compared to large groups. Make friendship easily. They will have high interaction. They will experience. They will know each other, personal aspect, their background, their experiences, their competencies, skills, everything, when compared to large groups. So this cohesion is important because it has been found to be related to group productivity. So in a small group, they can spend time together because there are only small numbers in the group. They will have high interaction and they will experience good experience when compared to large group. So that is about group cohesiveness. Then members who have positive image of their group, so they want to protect, they will pursue collective threat to the positive image. Okay, so somebody will have positive image, somebody have negative image. So those who have positive image, they only can contribute for the organization as an individual, as a group. So those who are having negative image, they will not do the work as required by the organization or group members. Then for the group cohesiveness, team leader always should actively seek input from the all members to avoid expressing their own opinions, especially in the early stage of deliberations. This is about group cohesiveness. Then group shift. This is about group decisions with the individual decision of members within the group. So in a group shift, you are taking the individual's opinion about the work, about the roles, responsibilities of the particular group, organization, particular project. Then based on opinions of the other all members, then they can go for the decision making. Then group decisions are more conservative than individual decisions. So sometimes one head is always two heads are work more when compared to one head. Okay, so if you sit together with other member, then you can share your feelings, thoughts, skills. Then you can take decision. It will be perfect. Whereas in individually, you may not sometimes satisfy the particular thing. You may not, that your individual decision may not be accurate when compared to group decision. So always two minds decision is better than single one. Then the decisions of the group reflects the dominant decision making norm that develop during the group discussions. So discussion creates familiarization among the members. So they become more comfortable with each other. They also become more bold and daring. So when you are taking others' opinion in the group, based on other opinion, you can take a group decision. Then everybody feels that yes, he also took my opinion. So I something everybody's contribution is there in group decision. Then sometimes this shift towards risk. Sometimes you can face risk also in organization. Then in temporary groups with deadlines do not seem follow the previous model. That is 5 model. What is the 5 model? 5-stage model, that is forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Whereas these temporary groups with deadlines do not seem to follow the previous model. That is 5-stage model. In this temporary model, the first meeting sets the group directions. Then first phase of group activity is now inertia means nothing to do with other activity, a tendency to do nothing or to remain unchanged, that is inertia. Sometimes transition takes place time, then transition initiates major changes. This is about punctuated equilibrium. You can that is in phase 1, first meeting, phase 2, completion, phase 1, transition, everything is there. This is about 10th unit. I'll conclude. So every team is to follow some stages. There are 5 stages. That is forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Then some group norms are there. These group norms control group members' behavior by establishing standards. What is right, what is wrong. So if you do this thing, then it is right. Then if you do something, it is wrong. So sometimes some norms that support anti-social behavior increases the likelihood that individuals will engage in deviant workplace activities. For example, you can take best example is sleeper cells and terrorism. They will also form a group, but they will support anti-social behavior. That is also group, but they are having different norms. Whereas in our organization, we'll have pro-social behavior, working towards the company goal, that is socially acceptable behavior. Whereas this sleeper cells and terrorists will have anti-social behavior. Then status inequalities creates frustration and can adversely influence the productivity. So in some groups, there are some status issues. Somebody having high status, low status, with that they will have some frustration. It influences the productivity of that particular company. So with this, So far we completed 10th unit. Then we'll move on to 11th unit 11, that is group process decision making. Then what do you mean by decision making? Anybody? What do you mean by decision making? Some problem occurred, then they have to, in a group, they have to come together to solve that particular problem. For example, Russia-Ukraine war. Okay. Then the military force, they have to take quick decisions about fight or based on the their present directions, they need to fight. But this decision making means this is think together to solve certain problems. For example, in organization level also, we may face some difficulties, some problems. So as a group, we have to decide what to do, how to solve the problem in a taking all the other members' decisions, all members' opinions. This group decision can be applied in social sciences and other relevant fields of socialization. So you have to take decision to solve some problems, to take quick and good decision. Sometimes you have to face some risks. Then group polarization and group think are negative aspects of the group decision making, which have. Okay, so in this we have group think. Group think means this is the most dangerous trap in our decision making. It is particularly because it taps into the deep social identification mechanisms. Then other thing is, okay, as I said, I will repeat the same thing. Two heads are better than one, as long as been accepted as a basic component in a group behavior. So always two heads are better than one head. Then groups versus the individual. Ethics constitutes a discipline concerned with the moral judgments. So the goodness or badness of behavior, that rightness or wrongness of an action. So there are some ethics, that is we will call as a moral values, ethics, sincerity, regularity, punctuality, then truthfulness. These are the ethics you have to follow. Then each the organization will have their own ethics, functioning time, then other aspects. So this ethics constitute a discipline concerned with moral judgments, that is goodness, badness of behavior, then rightness or wrongness of an action. So individuals make value judgments each and every day of their life based on their moral values, moral judgments. So what is good, what is bad, then what is right, what is wrong, they will use their ethical values. So in a groups and organizations are composed of individuals who bring their value systems to bear when making moral judgments. So with this ethics of the individuals, that is moral values, what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong, then based on the individual's ethical values, individual moral values, this group maintains group ethics. Strengths of group decision making. So groups bring more input into decision process. Sometimes we have homogeneous groups, heterogeneous groups. Homogeneous means same thing. Same thing. Homogeneous means same age, same sex, then same thing, homogeneity. Heterogeneity means different mixture of different aspects. Heterogeneity means differences of opinion. Sometimes in an organization, there is sometimes heterogeneous decisions. So they offer increased diversity of views. We can invite different views from the different members. So all put together, sometimes it generates high quality decisions because we have taken heterogeneity of the decision process, then diversity of views from the other members, compelling all the views and responses from the other members, will take some decision that generate higher quality decisions. So finally, it leads to increased acceptance of solution. Through this diversity of views or heterogeneity of the decision process will strengthen group decision making. So with this higher quality, with this diversity of opinions, diversity of views, these groups likely to group members are making a decision are likely to enthusiastically support the decision and encourage others to accept it because everybody has contributed their view for the decision making. So that is why it is called as a heterogeneity to the decision process. So it has increased diversity of views. Finally, we got higher quality decision making. It is increased acceptance of the solution. So weakness of group decision. This is a strengthening of group decision. Then that is the weakness of group decision making. So in spite of positive aspects noted, group decisions have their drawbacks also sometimes. So always group may not take higher quality decisions. Sometimes some decisions may not be right at a particular point of time. So group decisions have their drawbacks. So sometimes they are time consuming because they may not take decision in a single head. They will take invite all the members' views. So it is time consuming. For example, in that particular group, there are 10, 20, 30 members. You have to take all members' views. So it is a time consuming. Then you may not take correct decision at the correct time because you need to consolidate all members' views. So group, so it will take more time to reach a solution than would be the case of individual. So the individual member can take decision very fast, whereas in a group heterogeneity, then you want to take all members' views, it will take more time. It is very time consuming and more time to reach a solution. You may not come to a conclusion, you may not take a solution because it is a time consuming. You are taking everybody's opinion about the particular problem. Then group discussion can be dominated by one or a few members. In a group, somebody will have dominant behavior, so he will always dominate others. Then he has to influence the group's other members. So sometimes he dominates the group decision making also. Then, for example, in individual decision, it is clear one is accountable for the final outcome because it is individual decision, but he will take responsibility, whether good or bad, right or wrong, he owns responsibility. So in a group decision, the responsibility of any single member is watered down because it is a group decision. So everybody, they may not, nobody will take the responsibility of the group decision. Whereas in individual decision, one is accountable for the final outcome, whereas in a group it may not, because in a group everybody's views are taken. Nobody takes responsibility whether it went good or bad, right or wrong. Nobody cares about that. Nobody takes responsibility of the group decision. The next one is effectiveness and efficiency of group decision making. What is effectiveness? Effectiveness depends on the criteria you use for the defining effectiveness. So in terms of accuracy means correctness. Group decisions will generally tend to be more accurate because in a group there are n number of decisions, heterogeneity of decision, heterogeneity of views, different opinions, differences of opinions. So it is more accurate. More accurate means more correct. Then group judgments are more accurate than the judgment of individuals. So individual judgment may not be accurate, whereas group judgments are accurate when compared to individual judgments. Then decision effectiveness is defined in terms of speed. Individuals are superior, so individual can take decision very speed, because individuals will take very fast decision when it's compared to
Not audible, sir.
okay. So it is effectiveness and efficiency of group decision making. In terms of accuracy, group decisions will generally tend to be more accurate, more correct when it's compared to individual. Then when it's come to decision making, individual will take decision very speed. Then they will show their superiority in a decision, taking a decision, whereas creativity is important in a group. Creativity is more effective than individuals. So effectiveness means the degree of acceptance the final solution achieves, and now again goes to the group. So effectiveness cannot be considered without also assigning efficiency. So effectiveness and efficiency both are interrelated. Individual may take decision very speed, he will show superior. When it comes to creativity, groups tend to be more effective than individuals. When it comes to decision making, individual may take decision more accurate, very speed. This is about effectiveness and efficiency of group decision making. Then cohesiveness, that is team spirit. What is team spirit? In sports and games, we use this team spirit. Whether you win or lose, you may have to show team spirit. So in a group, sometimes the group decisions may not be good or bad, right or wrong. You have to take it is a team spirit. So any group structure is its cohesiveness. Cohesiveness means interaction between the group members, friendship within the group members. So cohesiveness as the pressure group members face to remain part of their groups. Then highly cohesive work groups are ones which members are attracted to each other, accept the group's goals, and help work toward meeting them. So understand each other, attract each other member. Then you have to work toward reaching the goal, meeting the goals, meeting the targets. Sometimes some members may not like others. Sometimes they may not. They will dislike others. Then sometimes they work for cross purpose. So cohesiveness refers not me, it is we. So it is not me, it is we. We made this. It is a group. It is a collective responsibility. It is a collaborative achievement. It is a team spirit. So you always think for we. That is team spirit. That is sense of belongingness to a group. So I have made this, I have done this, that is individuality. When it comes to group, we did this. We completed this project. That is team spirit. Then in a group cohesiveness, some causes and consequences are there. The causes for the group cohesiveness, that is serve initiation. This is a cause. Then consequences are positive, that is enjoy group membership. So everybody want to take initiate. He want to introduce himself, then herself. Then one can mingle with others, make friendship, will share everything. So that is positive side. So it yields positive thing. That is it serves initiation. Then enjoy group membership. Everybody introduces themselves. Then they will share their experiences, their skills, their competencies, interest among the group. Then it will serve for the good purpose. Then sometimes external that. Then participate in group activities. So some external that is there, they will use team spirit. They will participate in group activities. Then sometimes lots of time together. Then they will accept group goals. Then small groups, low absenteeism. So because there are only 5 members working for the project, so nobody will take the leaves because there are very less in number. So everybody must contribute for the project. So small groups, low absenteeism. Then sometimes history of success, last sides of things. Some groups will have last side of goals. So that is group thing. Sometimes they lost their group goals. Then whereas in cohesiveness, it may work against organization interest. Sometimes some groups, they work against interest of the organization. So this is about causes and consequences of group cohesiveness. Then group think and groups shift. These are the two byproducts of group decision making. That is group think and group shift. This is byproduct of group decision making. Then first one is group think means it is related to group norms. It describes situations in which group pressures for conformity deter the group from critically appraisal, unusual, minority, or unpopular views. Sometimes they may use this conformity, minority or unpopular views. That is groupthink. Groupthink is a disease that attacks many groups and they can dramatically hinder their performance. So this is called as a, in organizational level, it is called a disease. For example, cough and cold will affect all family members. Likewise, in a group, somebody will have this group thing. It influences the other members. Sometimes it influences other group members, other groups too. That is group think. It is a negative aspect. The next one is a group shift. It indicates that in discussing a given set of alternatives and arriving at solutions, group members tend to exaggerate and initial positions that they hold. So in a group shift, there will be position changes. Group tend to towards risky shift. Let us look at each of these phenomena. Okay. So group think and group phenomenon, these are the byproduct of group decision making. Group think is something, it has got negative. It is in a group think, it is called otherwise as a decision. Disease. Disease means it is negative side. It will not work for the organization development or group development. It will discourage group members. It will always influence the productivity of that particular company or particular project. Group think phenomenon, group decision making techniques. First one is brainstorming. In brainstorming, we'll overcome pressures from the conformity. We'll interact with the group members. We'll use some creative alternatives for the problem solutions. Then it can be utilizing an idea generation process that specifically encourages one and all, then all alternatives while withholding any criticism of those alternatives. So brainstorming means in a group, everybody will interact with each member in a brainstorming session. Then they will receive some creative alternatives for the problems. Then they can utilize their ideas. They will share their ideas as well as they will take other ideas. So it is a idea generation process. We'll receive many ideas. It is a idea generation process. So it encourages everybody in the group. Then in any typical brainstorming sessions, we have dozens or 6 members or 12 members in a group. They will sit in around the table. So for selection, many organizations will use this brainstorming sessions, that is called as the group discussions. So 6 members or 12 members will sit around the table. Then somebody will act as a group leader. He will initiate the problem in a clear manner. Then it can be understood by all participant members. Then they will show some alternatives they can given in the length of time. In a length of given, for example, half an hour or 1 hour, they will use their creativity. They will generate their ideas. They will come to a conclusion for the good solution for that particular problem, which was initiated by the group leader. Then the nominal group technique, that is group process involving problem identification, solution generation, decision making. It is a nominal group technique. Then implications for managers. So particularly in any organization, we'll see based on the performance of the group. So a number of group properties shows the relationship with the performance. If you are performing better means you may use different group techniques. Then among the prominent role perception, norms, status, differences, size of the group, and cohesiveness. They will influence the performance of the group. So there is a positive relationship between the role perception and an employee's performance. Then the degree of congruence that exists between the employees and the boss in the perception of the employees' jobs influence the degree to which the boss will judge that employee as an effective performer. So based on the performance only, the boss will judge that employee is performing better or not better, a sort structure. So the norms of a given group can help the explain the behaviors of its members or managers. So support high output, managers can expect individual performance to be higher. So these norms sometimes that support anti-social behavior, increase the likelihood that individuals will engage in deviant workplace activities. Some companies, some individual will have this socially deviant behavior at the workplace. So it will influence the performance of the particular group. Then status inequalities create frustration and can adversely influence productivity. So status inequality, high status, low status. So high status people always dominate the group behavior. They always deviate the group norms. They don't care of group norms. They will deviate from the norms. Then low status people will have different capacities and expertise, but group people may not consider their experts. So among individuals who are equity sensitive, for example, taking another job. So some will leave this job and they will join another company because they won't recognize, the company won't recognize their services or experience or expertise. They will resign the job and they will join, they will shift the job, they will take another job. Then the impact of size on a group performance depends on the type of task in which the group is engaged. So larger groups are more effective at fact-finding activities. So fact-finding activities, larger group will interrogate, they will check different person, they will conclude their views. So they will work for the fact-finding activities. Though then smaller groups are more effective at action-taking tasks. So fact-finding tasks, large groups will do better in fact-finding tasks, whereas action-taking tasks, small groups will do better in action-taking classes. So social offering suggests that managers uses large groups should be made provide measures to individual performance within the group. So always recognize individual performance in a group. So cohesiveness can play important function in influencing group level of productivity. It all depends on the group performance relations norms. Then satisfaction. It is a role satisfaction, that is performance relationship, high congruence between a boss and an employee as an to perception of the employee's job shows a significant association with the high employee satisfaction. So somebody doing a good performance, so boss has to satisfy, okay, you are doing good. So sometimes there is role conflict is associated with the job inducing tension and job dissatisfaction. So you have to play performance roles and non-performance roles, professional roles and non-professional roles. So based on that, your satisfaction will be there. So most people prefer to communicate with others at their own status level or higher one rather than with those below them. So always there is high status, middle status, low status. So high status people always communicate with high status people only. Middle status people always communicate with middle status people only. So low status people always try to communicate with their below status level. So sometimes the group size, its satisfaction relationship is would indicate larger groups are associated with the lower satisfaction because they are large in number. They have lower satisfaction. Then size increases, opportunities for participation in a social interaction is decreases. So when size increases, so there won't be any face-to-face interaction. The opportunities participation in a social interaction is decreases when size increases. So the ability of members identify with the group's accomplishments. So in a group size, large groups may do some work, small groups may do some work. Large groups will do effective work in fact finding, then action taking task, small groups will. Likewise, the group size also, small groups will interact with each other. They are having high satisfaction, whereas when it comes to large size, they don't have opportunity for participating in social interaction. So their satisfaction will be decreases. So this is about 11th unit, that is group process decision making. So far we have completed unit 11. Yes, it is time for discussion. Any doubts? Please let me clarify your doubts. I will try to clarify your doubt. Please ask me any doubts in unit 10th and unit 11th. Yes. Any doubts? No doubts? So no doubt, no responses. So I will stop here. We'll continue 12th unit in the next class.
Okay,
That
sir.
is-
Thank you, sir.
That is on 18th, I think, 18th March. Same time.
Okay.
Okay then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right.